Lions won yesterday. Buffalo had the better offensive line, could run the football against the Steelers. So I want to start with this. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. And as Joy often says, players do not tank. But we saw the Colts not play Peyton Manning that last year so they could get Andrew Luck. We know what happens in the NBA draft. You just sit starters, play guys. That's a tanking. You just play less talented guys. So the Jets right now have the number 1 pick, and the Jags have the number 2 pick. If they tie, the Jags get the pick. It's a strength of schedule tiebreaker without convoluted. I don't want to waste your time. The NFL goes to a strength of schedule thing. I think the easier one gets it, Jags get it. So the Jets can't win a game. If you look at the Jets schedule, they're going to lose the next 2 games. They're going to get crushed at the Rams and crushed by the Browns, who have stuff to play for. Then it's the Patriots. It's perfect. Belichick hates the Jets. Once was offered the job, turned it down. Hates them. He's already beaten and humiliated the Jets 100 times. The game has no. But he could easily say, I'm not going to play Cam because Cam's our starting quarterback next year. There's no reason to put him through that. We're going to give Jarrett Stidham a full week. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Jarrett Stidham starts. Well, they're struggling with Cam. What's it going to look like with Jarrett Stidham? The Jets win the game. Ugly. John, you could even play the conspiracy theory music. And the Jets and Belichick doesn't have to face Trevor Lawrence for the next 5 years. Think about this division. I want to face Trevor Lawrence 2 times a year. I want to face Tua 2 times a year. I want to face Josh Allen 2 times a year. Hell no. Belichick is too competitive to what? Start Jarrett Stidham? That's all you're asking. You just say, listen, we're going to start Jarrett Stidham.
And none of those Jets players want to be a part of a team that went 0-16.
It's humiliating. The Jets will play to win. Maybe the organization won't. I'm just saying, you're Belichick. You want to face Josh Allen 20 times in the next 10 years. And then Trevor Lawrence 20 times. And Tua. Nobody in the NFL, including Belichick, who's won 43% of his games without Tom Brady, nobody wins in this league having the 4th best quarterback in the division. And they got too many wins to get one of the top guys this year. And nobody's going to do him any favors and give him a quarterback. I'm just saying, you start Jarrett Stidham.
It's not the craziest thing I've ever heard. There's some far more unrealistic conspiracy theories out there right now.
So here's, because a lot of people now, because I'm America's media icon, this will get talked about a lot. So what you do if you're Belichick, you do it a week early. You say, we're just going to play Jarrett so it doesn't look so premeditated. You play Cam 1 more week. If you lose, you just say, last 2 games of the year, we're going to give Jarrett Stidham a start. As a coaching staff, nobody's going to judge Belichick. So if they go to Jarrett Stidham as a starter.
Well, they have the Dolphins in Miami next week.
And Miami's going to win that game.
Yeah, they've traditionally struggled in that game.
And then Miami's going to win that game. And I think they shut it down after that. Who do they have after that?
Bills.
And they're going to get routed by that. And so I just say, what if they just say, because you don't want to start Jarrett Stidham against Miami and get blown out. Because people say, okay, you got to play Cam. And you let Cam play against Miami, and then you say, we've made a decision. We're just going to go with Jarrett Stidham the rest of the way.
I don't hate it.
Don't hate it. It's not crazy. And by the way, it would just stick it to the Jets. It would just be a take.
Well, actually, besides the added bonus, I feel like the sticking it to the Jets is like the cherry on top. It's actually a very good strategy. Now, the consolation, like how far do they go down? Do they get the 2nd pick in the draft?
Yeah,
they're still getting Justin Fields,
right? But let's be honest about this. Once a decade, you get a quarterback who's going to win regardless of the mess.
Yeah, that's how everyone feels about Trevor Lawrence.
Justin Fields could win with the right people, but you put him in Cleveland with Freddie Kitchens, Justin Fields is not going to win. So there's a difference between Luck, Elway, Trevor Lawrence, and this isn't one of these things where you get Mahomes and he's way better than you thought. Trevor Lawrence would have been the number 1 pick last year,
right?
And probably the year before.
It actually kind of adds a little cover for Belichick, too, that they would still get Justin Fields. Because it's like, wow.
Whoa.
They've got a quarterback?
Well, yeah, I mean, a chopped liver.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Okay, okay. I do want to say this, though. When I watched Buffalo last night, it's so amazing how it lines up. They are the Steelers 13 years ago. The Steelers 13 years ago had a small college quarterback named Big Ben who was weirdly big, strong, mobile with a huge arm. Didn't watch him play in college. And they had this coach, defensive coach from William & Mary named Mike Tomlin. They had a terrific offensive coordinator named Bruce Arians, who everybody in the league thought, he's going to get a head job. And they were a proud Northeast franchise. So now the Bills have this small school quarterback named Josh Allen, who nobody watched really in college. Their coach, Sean McDermott, he went to William & Mary too with Mike Tomlin. It is a proud Northeast franchise, and they've got this offensive coordinator who's going to get a head job, Brian Daboll. I literally like watching them last night. I'm like, and by the way, these guys have Stephon Diggs. Big Ben back then had a couple of great young receivers. It's like, I feel like I was watching the Steelers with just different names. And I will say this too. If you were building a quarterback today, and Peter Schrager talked about this. Schrager came on earlier and talked about Josh Allen. Here's Peter Schrager earlier on Josh Allen, the quarterback.
This Josh Allen, he has had his moments where you wonder, all right, can I trust this guy? In the last month or so, I'm done questioning it. He is as good as any other quarterback under 30 outside of Mahomes. I would take Josh Allen over Deshaun Watson. I would take Josh Allen over Kyler Murray. I would take Josh Allen over Joe Burrow right now if I'm building a team. He is that dialed in, and he's had the experiences of 2 years, ups and downs, where you feel like he's fully blossoming. I love watching this kid throw the ball, and I love watching him lead his team. They really believe in him. Colin, the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC and the NFL right now. The Bills might be a close second.
By the way, 13 years ago, Big Ben was in his fourth year, and they kind of did some babysitting. You recall, first couple of years, it was run game, it was defense, and by about year 4, it was Ben's team. Josh Allen, year 3. A little babysitting first couple of years. You watched last night and last week, it's Josh Allen's team. Any throw. So, I mean, it feels like the Steelers. By the way, if you were building a quarterback today, ideally, this sounds stupid, but you'd want somebody that's tall. So you'd probably go 6'4.5", 6'5.5". You'd want somebody that was big and could take hits. But usually with tall, you get immobile, clunky. You get mobile. You'd want big arm, especially cold weather quarterbacks. Big Ben, Flacco, Josh Allen. Brady throws a very good cold weather football. You would not build Kyler Murray. You would not build Russell Wilson. You would not build Aaron Rodgers, who's like 6'1.5", 6'2". You would build this. 6'5", big arm, mobile, coachable, and what's always the key? Overlooked in high school and college. Just got a little chip on his shoulder. Overlooked. He can run over you. He can run past you. He can throw it in front of you. He can throw it over you. I mean, he is just... I love these stories. We have so many amazing... Mahomes is obviously, if you could take a quarterback, you take Mahomes.
Right.
Dad played Major League Baseball, there's stuff, but you get to that second list, and it's like, I get into that Herbert, Josh Allen, where you're like, that ball just cuts through anything.
I love that they've stuck with him and developed him.
Yes. People bail on